Hello and welcome to the course number 4. We will be talking about real-world problem identification and analysis leading to project management and time management. In today's dynamic business environment, the ability to identify and analyze problems efficiently is crucial for successful project management and effective time management. Today, we will explore the key aspects of problem identification, analysis, project management, and time management. The course content includes identification and understanding of real-world problems, analysis of the problem, project management, the importance of goals, deadlines, and budget, and effective time management. Now let's move on to the chapter number 1, identifying and understanding real-world problems. But what even is the problem? A problem is a situation, condition, or issue that causes difficulties for people. It is generally understood as a discrepancy between a current state and desired state. Problems can range in scale from minor inconveniences to significant obstacles that require immediate attention and resolution. As Bill Gates points out, understanding the problem is half the solution. The ability to solve problems is a crucial skill in the modern workplace. Problem solving is a cognitive process directed at achieving a goal when no solution method is obvious to the observer. It involves the ability to evaluate the situation, identify a problem or opportunity, define possible solutions, and implement a course of action. It can make the difference between success and failure, and it can help you navigate the complexities of a fast-paced environment. But what exactly is effective problem solving, and how you can develop the skills needed to solve problems efficiently and effectively? This we will talk about in the next slides. One of favorite problem solving frameworks is called PACE. First, you have to define problem, analyze the issue, gather information, and identify the cause. As Jeff Bezos points out, if you're not stubborn, you will give up on experiments too soon, and if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution to a problem you're trying to solve. So we can say that success favors those who embrace innovative approaches, and solving the problem enables progress. Identifying and understanding real-world problems involves a systematic approach of observation, analysis, and critical thinking. Here are some steps you can make to identify real-world problems. First, you have to observe your environment. So you have to pay close attention to your surroundings, whether it's your workplace, community, or industry. You also have to listen to stakeholders, so your employees, suppliers, and community members. You have to listen to them, their feedback, concerns, and suggestions for areas that need attention or improvement. You can also conduct a research. So you have to gather data and information about your industry, market trends, customer needs, and competitors. You can also brainstorm with a team. So you have to collaborate with your colleagues, team members, or experts from different disciplines and brainstorm the potential problems or challenges that you will face. Use problem-solving techniques such as SWOT analysis, root cause analysis, fishbone diagrams, or mind mapping to systematically identify and analyze problems. Also consider pain points. You have to identify them or even areas of friction experienced by stakeholders in their interactions with your product, service, or organization. You need to stay informed, so stay updated on industry news, trends developing through publications, conferences, networking events, and online forums. Being informed about the latest things and challenges in your field, it can help you identify relevant problems too. You should also think creatively. Think outside of the box, consider unconventional perspectives of approaches to identify problems. Prioritize problems. So once you've identified a list of potential problems, prioritize them based on factors such as impact, urgency of solutions, and alignment with organizational goals. But also validate with data. So validate your identified problems with data and evidence. Quantitative data, qualitative feedback, and real-world examples can help substantiate the existence and significance of problems you've identified. By following these steps and adopting a proactive and analytical mindset, you can efficiently identify real-world problems and lay the groundwork for meaningful solutions and improvements. It's also good to follow market trends. So following market trends is essential for identifying and understanding problems in the world because they provide valuable insights into the likely direction of future developments. Trends can be detected potential problems before they fully manifest, allowing for proactive responses. For example, Forbes has announced 10 trends for 2024, and they are generative AI everywhere, soft skills and the human touch, the skills solution, sustainable business, personalization at scale, the data economy, the customer experience revolution, remote and distributed work, diversity and inclusivity, and resilience. So as Richard Branster points out, you have to keep your ear to the ground and listen to what the world is telling you. One of the most important things is also customer feedback. So Adrian McDermott has pointed out that customers have high expectations, little patience, and many options when it comes to who they do business with. Moving on to chapter number 2, we have analysis of the problem. Once the problem is identified, the next step is to analyze it. This involves breaking down the problem into manageable parts, understanding its root causes, and identifying stakeholders. In this module, we will teach you analytically techniques to dissect any problem and assess its impact. So, problem analysis is a critical aspect of project management, and several techniques can be applied to identify and resolve issues. Some widely used problem analysis techniques are root cause analysis. This technique involves identifying the root causes that causes problems rather than treating the symptoms. Next one is Pareto analysis, based on the principle that 80% of problems are often due to 20% of causes. Already mentioned SWOT analysis. This technique assesses internal and external factors that affected the project success. Failure mode and effects analysis. This is step-by-step approach for identifying all possible failures in a design, a manufacturing or assembly process of a product or service. Fault tree analysis. a top-down deductive analytical method used to explore the causes of system failures and identify the problem of undesirable events. Next one is gap analysis. This involves comparing actual performance with potential or desired performance. If an organization does not make the best use of current resources or investment in capital or technology, it may produce or perform below its potential. The last one here, we have decision matrix analysis, which is useful technique to make a decision when many factors must be balanced. Scores are assigned to different options and weighted according to the importance of each other. So, as Reid Hoffman said, analyzing the problem, deconstructing it for better understanding is essential if you want to solve it and grow your company. All these techniques can be applied individually or in combination, depending on the nature and complexity of the problem being analyzed. They are integral tools in a project manager's skills, enable the successful identification and mitigation of issues that can hinder project progress. So let's take a look at the 5 why method.
The 5 whys technique was developed by the Toyota Motor Company in the early 1970s and is an integral part of Toyota's production system program, which includes other tools like Lean. The basic idea of the 5 whys technique is to find the root cause of a problem or deviation by asking questions that start with why. Once the root cause of the deviation is understood, solutions can be identified and implemented. The 5 whys will typically start with the question, why did this problem or deviation occur? When you have the answer to this first why question, you ask a follow-on question that also begins with why, but uses the information provided in the previous answer. This is repeated until you understand the problem. There is nothing magic about the number 5, but rather, it's intended to ensure that careful thinking is applied to a problem. Sometimes you may need to ask why 6 or 7 times, and in other situations, 4 may be enough. Early practitioners found that it took at least 5 rounds of why questions to get enough of an understanding of a problem to address it effectively. You know you have asked why enough times when the answer is, I don't know. Then you have reached a useful starting point for a more comprehensive problem-solving tool, such as KT's problem analysis process. Let's look at an example. You're the operations manager of a manufacturing company. You've got a busy day ahead of you when you get a call from HR. There's a problem. Lots of absent staff, mostly line operators, who are on sick leave. Using the 5 whys technique, your first question is, why are the operators off sick? First why. They all have back pain. Why do they have back pain? Second why. Because they have to pick up heavy steel parts off of the floor. Why are they picking up heavy steel parts off of the floor? That isn't our standard procedure. Third why. Some steel parts fall off the conveyor belt during production. Why are the steel parts falling off the conveyor belt? Fourth why. Because the limit switch on the production line doesn't always work, which means they can't control the flow. Why is the limit switch not working? Fifth why. We don't know. We tested the circuits and the switch itself and everything is working as it should. In order to find the root cause, further analysis is required. However, by using 5 whys, we are now focused on the appropriate elements of the production process, not the people with back pain, and understand that this is a deviation problem. The limit elements don't always work as expected. If you're familiar with KT's problem analysis process, you might notice that 5 whys is similar to the first step in describing the problem, developing a problem statement. Using 5 whys can help you identify where to start your problem-solving efforts without being too broad or too narrow.
Okay, now that we have watched the video, you will have to do a short exercise. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you will have time to do analysis on the example of eco-friendly water bottles. So please stop this presentation and do the activity. Moving on, we will talk about project management. A project is a set of tasks that must be completed within a defined timeline to accomplish a specific set of goals. The tasks are completed by a group of people known as project team, which is led by a project manager who oversees the planning, scheduling, tracking and successful completion of projects. Projects are distinct from routine business operations due to their end goal and temporal nature, and they require specific management techniques and strategies to be successful. Project management is the process of leading the work of a team to achieve all project goals within the given constraints. This information is usually described in project documentation created at the beginning of the development process. The primary constraints are scope, time and budget. The secondary and more ambitious challenges is to optimize the allocation of necessary inputs and interrogate them to meet predefined objectives. Here's what project management typically involves. So first one is initiation, defining the project at high level and linking it to ongoing work of the organization. The second one is planning, so establishing the scope, refining the objectives and outlining the course of action required to attain the objectives that our project was undertaken to achieve. Third one is execution. So carrying out the project plan by performing the activities included therein. Fourth is monitoring and controlling, so tracking, reviewing and regulating the progress and performance of the project. And the fifth is closing, so finalizing all project activities across all groups involved in the project, formally closing the project and reporting its conclusion. So project management is not just about tasks and schedules, it's also about the project manager's ability to lead team, manage resources, deal with stakeholders, and utilize methodologies, tools, and techniques to ensure project success. Projects are temporary endeavors with defined scopes, timelines, resources, and project management ensures that these projects are completed efficiently and effectively. So now let's move to the chapter number 4, the importance of goals, deadlines, and budget. In any projects, 3 pillars are crucial to its success. So as said, goals, deadlines, and budget. First one are goals that provide direction and clear understanding of what the project aims to achieve. They set the scope and objectives, ensuring that all team members are aligned and working towards a common result. Well-defined goals also serve as a benchmark for measuring the project's progress and success. So as Tony Robbins points out, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Next, we have deadlines. They ensure that the project maintains momentum and moves forward. They also have with prioritizing tasks, managing time effectively, and keeping the team focused on short team achievements that contribute to the overall project timeline. Deadlines are also assist in setting expectations for project stakeholders, including clients, management, and team members. If we now quote the Elon Musk, if you don't have a deadline, it just feels like you can work on it forever. It doesn't create the right level of urgency. The third and final one is of course budget, which is critical for defining the resources available for the project. It is a financial representation of project scope, defining how much can be spent on labor, materials and other costs. Staying within budget is crucial for the financial viability of the project, and it also involves monitoring and controlling costs to avoid overruns, which can jeopardize the project's completion and success. As Warren Buffett points out, do not save with what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. So we can point out that understanding the interconnection between goals, deadlines, and budget is vital for any project manager. They are not isolated elements, but intertwine to shape the project structure, execution, and success. Now that we have talked about goals, deadlines, and budget, let's move on to the chapter number 5, effective time management. Managing your time effectively is crucial to the success of any project. In this module, we'll explore various time management techniques that will help you prioritize tasks, avoid procrastination, and achieve your goals efficiently. A simple tool for prioritization is this matrix that you see on the screen. So this is a tool used to categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance. This helps in deciding which tasks to focus on first. So for example, for the urgent and important, you do it first. Important but not urgent, you schedule it for later. Urgent and not important, you delegate it. And neither urgent nor important, you eliminate it. So here's an example using this matrix. So now you have to prioritize the following list of tasks by placing each other into appropriate quadrant of the matrix. You have 5 minutes to do that. So after doing this example, we will move to the Pomodoro technique, which is a time management method based on 25-minute stretches of focused work broken by 5-minute breaks. Longer breaks, typically 15 to 30 minutes, are taken after 4 consecutive work intervals. So each work interval is called Pomodoro. Which is actually an Italian word for tomato. Developer Francesco Cirillo created the Pomodoro technique in the late 1980s when he was a university student and used tomato-shaped kitchen timer to organize his study schedule. At first, he experimented with different work intervals, starting with 2 minutes and extending them up to 1 hour. He quickly realized that these were getting too long to stay focused on the task, so he settled on 25-minute Pomodoro as the optional time for his needs. So now let's move to your assignment. The purpose of this assignment is to help you improve your time management and concentration skills using the Pomodoro technique. This method uses a timer to break work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes in length, separated by short breaks. First, you need to choose a task. So select a task or project that you've been wanting to start or have been working on. This should be something that requires at least 2 hours of work. Next, you get prepared, so remove all distractions from your work environment and prepare also your materials and timer. Next, set the timer for 25 minutes and work on the task until the timer rings. And after working for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break to stretch, walk around, or do something relaxing that is not related to work. And at the end, you just repeat these sections for 5 or 6 times, as much as you need, and reflect what you have accomplished during this time. Also remember that every 4 sections of 25 minutes you can have a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. So consider what worked well and what didn't. You maybe can adjust this technique to yourself and your needs. So if you point out, through effective time management, you can get more done in less time while achieving a sense of accomplishment and reducing the potential for burnout. To conclude this chapter, you should remember the skills that you have learned are applicable in many aspects of your life, from academic projects to your personal goals, so keep practicing them, stay curious, and tackle the challenges ahead with confidence.